Hey guys, so I decided to make a little series about some of the FreeCodeCamp challenges, and I'm going to kind of go through from the very beginning and see if it's something you guys enjoy. First part here is about 20 minutes long. I think this is all quite self-explanatory. I think when we get further on in the challenges, you guys might have a few more questions. Generally at this stage, it's probably there's been a typo in what you've written. For some background, I basically learned how to become a web developer with FreeCodeCamp. I've got 3 of the certificates there, as you can see here. But it's also been a little while since I did these challenges, so it's interesting to have a little look and see what they've added to the course as well. So please guys, follow along. I'm going to put the time codes in the description if you want to just jump to a certain challenge that maybe you've got a block with or you've kind of stuck and you don't know why. So you guys can just click straight to those challenges. But I'll be releasing one of these every week. And leave me the feedback just so I know if this is something you guys enjoy. Okay guys, so let's get straight into the coding. Okay guys, so here we are on the FreeCodeCamp website. If you go to freecodecamp.org, sign yourself in and click learn, you'll come to this page here. Now, looking through this, there's 300 hours in the responsive web design certification, and how that breaks down is we have basic HTML, HTML5, HTML5 being just the newer version of HTML. HTML evolves, so it gets built upon, new things get added. So the standard we use at the moment is HTML5. Then we have basic CSS, applied visual design, applied accessibility, responsive web design principles, Flexbox grid, and responsive web design projects. And there's 5 of those. As you can see, I've actually done the projects, and I've actually done this quite a while ago. As you can see from the top 2, this stuff looks like it's probably new, so I'll be doing this for the first time as well. So let's get started, shall we? So let's go to basic HTML and HTML5. You've got the introduction here, and this is basically just telling you what HTML is, how it works with opening and closing tags. So each tag has to have a closing tag. And some tags, however, are self-closing. And we'll speak about them, obviously, when we get there. Just telling you how headings, what headings are for. And yeah, so you can have a little look over that. It's definitely worth doing. Get you a bit of a idea of it. So let's go to the first lesson and see what it's saying. Welcome to FreeCodeCamp's HTML coding challenges. These will walk you through web development step by step. First, do you see the code in the code editor says hello in a H1 tag? That's a HTML element. True. Most HTML elements have an opening tag and closing tag, which we discussed. The closing one just has a / before the letters. The only difference between them is / each challenge, blah, blah, blah. To pass this test, so this is where on FreeCodeCamp tells you what you need to do. To pass this test on the challenge, change your H1 elements text to say hello world. Okay, so we're just going to go inside here, type world with a capital W, because it's probably looking out for that, then run tests, and there you go. We have passed that. So submit and go to the next challenge. I'll download my solution, see what that is. Yeah. Submit and go to the next challenge. So, over the next few lessons, we'll build a HTML5 cat photo web app piece by piece. The H2 element you will be adding in this step will add a level 2 heading to the web page. Okay. This element tells the browser about the structure of the website. H1 generally are often used for main headings. H2 are generally used for subheadings. There are also H3, H4, H5, H6, blah, blah. Generally speaking as well, you would generally do this in size order. So H1 would be your largest, down to H6. But it tells things like Google importance of stuff on the page, so it can read those headings and be like, okay, H1 is more important than H2. That's the idea. Add an H2 tag that says cat photo app to create a second HTML element below hello world h1. Okay, I'm just going to copy this out. I'm going to do h2 within triangle brackets, paste in my cat photo app, and do a h2. Like I said, often in these things, I'm going to actually just change that capital A to a lowercase and see if it'll pass that test. Run tests. Yeah, it does. So it's not looking for capitals in the titles at the moment. It probably will do later, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, let's go to the next challenge. And a lot of these challenges at the beginning will be the reason you're not passing tests might be typos, so be aware of that. Right, P elements are preferred element for paragraphed text on websites. P is short for paragraph. You can create a paragraph element like this. Okay, so create a P element below your H2 element and give it the text hello paragraph. Okay, let's do this. As a conversation, all HTML tags are written in lowercase. Yep, okay, that's true. So we're saying hello paragraph. Hello paragraph. Closing the P tags out. Great stuff. Run the tests. And we're good. Right, cool. So we're laughing. This takes me back. Right, okay, so this one, we're filling in the blank text with placeholder text. Okay. So what's this saying? Web developers traditionally use lorem ipsum. We do. Text as placeholder text. The lorem ipsum text is randomly scraped from a famous passage by Cicero of ancient Rome. Okay, I did not know that. Lorem ipsum text has been used as placeholder text by typesetters since the 16th century, and this traditionally continues on the web. Well, 5 centuries is long enough. Since we're building a cat photo app, let's use something called kitty ipsum text. Replace the text inside your P element with the first few words of this ipsum text. Okay, I'm going to do the first 3 words, I guess. And we're going to change that within a P tag. So let's remove the text we have and just copy in kitty ipsum $. Run that test, and we're golden. Cool. We're flying through these. Right. Commenting is a way that you can leave comments for other developers within your code without affecting the resulting output that is displayed to the end user. Commenting is also a convenient way to make code inactive without having to delete it entirely. Comments start with this and end with this. So yeah, that's true. So you might have a problem on your site and you can't work it out. So as a process of elimination, you'll go through and you'll comment code out until you find the offending thing. So we're going to uncomment H1, H2, and P elements. So if I just remove that closing comment tag and this opening one, and then run the tests, cool, we're good. Submit and go to the next challenge. Right. So basic HTML and HTML5, comment out HTML. Remember that in order to start a comment, you need to use this, and to end a comment, you need to use this. Here you need to end the comment before your H2 begins. Comment out H1 element and your P element, but not your H2. Okay, so H2 we're going to keep. So comment that. Then we want to add a starting comment. So exclamation mark, 2 lines, or 2 hyphens. Run that test. Okay. Ludicrous speed go. I wonder how this, how much this is like just randomized or. Right. So delete HTML elements. Our phone doesn't have much vertical space. Let's remove the unnecessary elements so we can start building our cat photo app. Delete your H1 element so we can simplify our view. Okay, let's get rid of our H1 element. These should all be very, very, very simple. It does ramp up later, but I think this is kind of really getting used to how it looks more than anything. Introduction to HTML5 elements. HTML5 introduced more descriptive HTML tags. These include main, header, footer, nav, video, article section, and others. These tags give a descriptive structure to your HTML, make your HTML easy to read, and help with search engine optimization and accessibility. The main HTML5 tag helps the search engines and other developers find the main content on your page. It gives you an example there. So what does it want us to do? Let's just skip down here. Create a P element after the existing P element with the following text. So we're going to copy this text. I'm going to create another paragraph tag. Oh, hang on. Create a second one. Just do P. We could have copied the one above it, looks like. Oh no, it isn't the same. Then close that tag off. Then create a main element and nest the two P elements inside the main element. So we're basically going to wrap these two in a tag called main. And main is something you will use very frequently. Some of these tags you don't use that often. Actually, no, quite common actually, most of them. And I'm going to indent it as well. So this is common practice too. I'm just hitting tab there to push those in. And that's a common practice so you can realize what is inside something else. So you kind of get a little tree thing going across. Let's run these tests. All right, we're good. Cool. Let us see what we've got next. Add images to your website. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of color now. You can add images to your website using the image element and point to a specific URL using the source attribute src. Gives you an example. Note that the image elements are self-closing. I said this at the very beginning. All image elements must have an alt attribute. The text inside the alt attribute is used for screen readers to improve accessibility and is disabled if the image fails to load. So basically, people using screen readers, generally speaking, will be people who are visually impaired. So they want to know when they're tabbing over it, when their screen reader's going down the page, that it will say something like cat image, cute cat image, something like that. If the image is purely decorative, using an empty alt attribute is a best practice. Ideally, alt attributes should not contain special characters. Let's add alt attribute to our image example above. So this is let's copy this then. This is what we're adding it to. And now let's type it in. Does it want to be in the main? Let's try to add an image within the existing main element. Yep. Insert an image element before the existing P elements. Now set the source attribute so that it points to this URL. I'm going to grab that URL. Then before our P tags, I'm going to do an img tag. src equals, copy that in. Have an alt text called cute kitty. There we go. And we're going to close it. Right, now, something they haven't said here, and it's actually not necessary, but it's part of the HTML5 spec, I think. This image tag that we just put in doesn't have an image closing tag like this. Now, it's a self-closing tag, so it should actually have a / before its own closing bracket. Now, I think you can get away with it. It actually doesn't fail any tests and accessibility is fine. But I think in the HTML5 spec, this is something that you should have. So if you want to add it, you can do. Let's run that test. There we go. Get to the job. So let's have a look what we've got next. Okay, so you can use anchor elements to link to content outside of your web page. Anchor elements need a destination web address called a href. They also need anchor text. Here's an example. You see the link, actual domain address, and what we want it to display. Then your browser will display the text as a link. You can click and it will take you to the web address. Okay. Create an anchor element that links to FreeCodeCamp.com and has cat photos as its anchor text. It's not telling us where it wants it, so let's put it in. Let's put it below our P here in our main. So we're going to do a href equals copy in the URL, close the anchor tag, and type in, what did it want? Cat photos. Cat photos as the link text. Then close the A tag like we have been doing all the other things. Right. And it tells you as well down here all the things it needs to pass. So it tells us what to do and if we're past the things we need to pass. So run that test. Okay. Submit and go to the next challenge. Hope you guys are keeping up. Hope this is nothing too heavy. You should be pretty good. It's just getting your head around kind of what it looks like I said earlier. Right, link to internal sections of a page with anchor elements. Okay. Anchor elements can be used to create internal links to jump to different sections within a web page. To create an internal link, you assign a link's href attribute to a hash symbol plus the value of the ID attribute for the element that you want to internally link to. Usually further down the page, you need to add the same ID attribute to the element you are linking to. Okay, cool. So this will basically jump down the page. So you're adding a link, and when you click on that link, it goes to the section down the page that you want it to. Is that what it's doing? So change your external link to an internal link by changing a href attribute to hash footer. So I'm going to go hash footer here, hash footer, and the text cat photos to jump to bottom. Okay, jump to bottom. I'll do my capitals. Remove the target equals blank attribute. Since this causes the link document to open a new tab window. Yep, it won't refresh the current window, it will add another tab. Then add an ID attribute with a value of footer to the footer element at the bottom of the page. So this is the footer element, and we want to go ID equals footer, like that. And this is something that can be quite difficult in FreeCodeCamp in later lessons, where actually they don't tell you what an ID looks like or anything like that. So you might have to Google that, and that's probably a good thing because it's getting you used to Googling for solutions, which we do every day at work. So that is what it looks like. Let's run those tests. There we go. So I'm going to go back and see if it will let me do it in the editor. Oh no, because we're in this window here. If I click on the button, there, jump to the bottom. Very subtly, jump to the bottom. So let's pass this and go to the next challenge. Right, so nest an anchor element within a paragraph. Okay, you can nest links within other text elements. So we're going to have a paragraph text, and there's going to be a link in the middle of it. Let's break down an example. I don't think we need that. So now nest the existing element, the anchor element, within a new P element just after the existing main element. So after the main existing element. So P tag. The new paragraph should have text that says view more cat photos. Add that, view more cat photos. Close that P tag off. And where cat photos is a link and the rest of the text is plain text. Okay. So we're going to wrap this cat photos in an anchor tag. href equals. I'm just going to leave that empty and put a closing A tag just before the paragraph tag ends. So you can see now that's linked like that. Do we need... you should have an A element that links to free code. It wanted us to do this, didn't it? So we could have just copied this actually. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to cut it out of there. I didn't read that properly. Then I'm going to just remove our whole anchor element and paste that in. So view more cat photos. View more cat photos here. Let's run those tests. Cool. Submit and go. Right. Sometimes you want to add anchor elements to your website before you know where they will link. Yep, true. This is also handy when you're changing the behavior of a link using JavaScript, which we'll learn about later. The current value of href attribute is a link that points to freecatphotoapp.com. Replace the href attribute value with a hash, also known as hash symbol, to create a dead link. Okay, so we're just going to replace the href with a dead link hash, like this. And run that test. Wicked. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there because this video is going to be around 20 or so minutes. And I'm going to do these series. I'm going to take you right up to the responsive design certification. And hopefully that will help you. If you've got a problem in the course, you can nip in and out to do this stuff. But I hope that's been helpful. And I think as this goes on, as we're going through these challenges, I might be able to add a little bit more input in to what things are, because at the moment it's fairly basic and fairly self-explanatory. But yeah, please let me know if you like this video. Comment, like, let me know where you are on FreeCodeCamp itself and how you're coping so far with it and what your challenges have been. So anyway, guys, I will see you soon, and thanks for watching.